downstairs to go and refill our cups while Chris was finishing getting ready upstairs. And while I was down there, they've stopped all access into Beaches and Cream this morning. Only for about 5 or 10 minutes or so. And they're restricting access into the Lafferty arcade next door, and access out of it, more importantly, because they're filming for the promotional video. Taken a little clip of the equipment around Beaches and Cream, but couldn't get any closer than that because they're not letting anybody in. But it's just interesting.
We made it to Blizzard Beach and it's not raining. Woohoo! Although there is an awful lot of cloud in the sky, we decided we'd let our suntan lotion soak in. They recommend 20 minutes, so we thought we'd go and get something healthy to eat and drink. And I say healthy, it is literally probably one of the first and most healthiest things we've eaten this entire trip that isn't laden with carbohydrates and other gunky, bready, basically it's not brown. We've got ourselves some way overpriced fruit cups that aren't in a cup, a bottle of water and a bottle of orange juice. See if you can guess how much 2 6-ounce trays of fruit are, a bottle of water and an orange juice. Okay, put your guess in the comments below. 3, 2, 1, right here. $15.08. Converted, that's about £10. £10 for what amounts to a slice of melon, a couple of slices of apple, a pint of water, and what's that, 340ml of orange juice. Now that is a rip-off. Why is it that fresh food and the healthy options in Disney are way more expensive than anything else around here? I don't mind paying, some things are actually pretty good value for money, but for a bit of fruit to be charging $7.58 for 2. Sorry?
I don't think it's that bad.
Jen seems to think it's not that bad, but I think that Disney should be encouraging healthy eating, so they really should be offering it at a lower price.
I agree with that. I certainly agree that the healthy option shouldn't be the most expensive option every single time you sit down. I think there's a major problem there. But I do think that $3.50 for that amount of fruit is not too bad, considering I think you'd spend £2 on that in Sainsbury's anyway, which is about $3. So $3.50 in a theme park for the increase in price for it being in a theme park, I don't think it's too bad at all. This is dinner from Blizzard Beach. There was quite a lot of choices on the menu this time, which was really good. And after having all brown food for a very long time, I was really excited to see the bruschetta flatbread, which looks amazing. And the different colours on it. I think it's mostly just tomatoes, which isn't really a problem. And despite not being on the menu, you can still get a cup of water, even at the water parks, which is really good to know. Because this morning we bought bottled water, and it turns out we didn't need to. Chris has got a blue raspberry frozen lemonade, which looks really good. I wouldn't mind trying to sip that quick before he comes back. And some chicken nuggets and chips. Quick.
Hey, what are you doing?
You're not back yet?
I'm back.
Oh, that is really tasty. Really strong.
I'm sure it was tasty.
Aww. We are back in the room now. We did our full day at Blizzard Beach, and just as we were about to leave, it started pouring down with rain. So the changing rooms were packed, everybody decided to leave at the same time, and we got absolutely soaked. So you have to excuse my possibly smudged and messy appearance, but it rained so hard I had makeup coming down my face. It was a lot of water. But it was 4:30 in Florida in September, so I suppose it was to be expected, really. But unfortunately, it meant we couldn't go and play mini golf this afternoon because we'd have drowned, basically. There was so much water. So we've come back to the room, we're going to get showered and changed, dry off a little bit, and then go out to Jelly Rolls later on. So Blizzard Beach was really great. We spent probably about 5 or 6 hours there all in all, and we rode pretty much everything there was to ride. We didn't spend a whole lot of time in the wave pool. In fact, we only paddled in the edge of the wave pool. But we did every ride there was, and we went around the lazy river at least twice. So that was good fun. I think our first ride was Summit Plummet. Just realised the lighting wasn't very good, so I've turned around, and hopefully this is a little bit better. Maybe I don't look quite so orange anymore. Our first ride was Summit Plummet, and that was insanely tall. I think it's something like 5 stories maybe, and it's just a vertical drop, which I was really nervous about at the top. And it's the sort of ride I've done quite a few times before. I've even done Summit Plummet, but I've done similar rides in other parks as well. But this time I was nervous, like legs shaking just a little bit. It was horrible. But we rode it twice, and I'm sure you'll see the footage from that. Going over the top was good. I pushed myself probably a little bit too hard and just came clear of the slide for a fraction of a second, but just enough to make you worry that you've pushed too hard and you've missed the slide and you're just going to fall to your death. Anyway, I didn't. I was completely fine, except when I got down to the bottom, there was something about the chute that made me rattle from side to side to side to side to side, and it was terrible. And I have bruises I feel like I have bruises all the way down my sides, my legs, my thighs, my back. Everything hurt. And unfortunately, it wasn't the only ride that did it. We did Cushion Gusher as well, which was similar but broken into 3 smaller vertical drops. That was really exciting. I really enjoyed Cushion Gusher. But I got that same pain at the bottom when you started to slow down, and I think doing it immediately after the first one probably wasn't the best idea. But it was good fun. I think a couple of other rides that we particularly liked were the Run-Off Rapids. There were 3 of those where you rode in individual tubes, and 2 of them were alright. They were a little bit slow, but the covered up ride, so it went completely dark in places and then was mostly dark in others. That one was really good. That one was really fast and just an exciting ride, really. And there are a couple of others. I'm sure we've got footage from loads of them, so you can to show you snippets. And if there's something you particularly want to see, let us know and put a message in the comments, and we'll try and find the footage for that one, because I think we took video for every ride. We've been down to try and find some food, which for tea today means snacks, because we're in the yacht club and there isn't a whole lot else that we can choose from. We've already had our first snacks, and our second ones but our second snacks are these Minnie's Bake Shop peanut butter cookies. See? They are amazing. But note, mine is the one on the left. This one. This one is Chris's. Chris chose his very carefully from the rack because there's extra peanut butter on the top. And I went second, and I chose mine, and mine is huge. I knew it was bigger than the other ones on the shelf, but I did not realise how much bigger it was than Chris's. See? Wow. Hey, so it's a little bit later than we planned, but we are off out now to Jelly Rolls, which is over at the Boardwalk. It should take us about 10 so minutes to get there, I think. I'm not too sure. I've got heels on, so it might take a bit longer.
Jen's dressed up a bit more than I am. Do you want to see?
Any excuse for a dress?
Cool. We're in the Yacht and Beach Club marketplace, and there's a great range of popcorn. We've got chocolate caramel popcorn, which is amazing. We've tried that. There's caramel corn with cashews and almonds, which I haven't tried, but I probably would. And then there's some quite obscure ones, like chocolate mint popcorn, and the worst of the worst, I don't know if any of you guys have tried it, but chocolate cheddar popcorn. That's right, chocolate popcorn with cheese popcorn mixed in with it, because they sell cheddar cheese popcorn. But with chocolate, really? If any of you guys have tried that, leave a comment down below.
I want one. What is this? Goofy sour cherry balls.
Yeah.
Are they really, really sour? Are they going to make my head explode? Mmm. Ow. They're really good. You should buy those. What are they called?
Goofy's Candy Co. Sour cherry balls.
I haven't finished chewing yet. Goofy's Candy Co. sour cherry balls are amazing. They do taste like the ones that we got in New York. As you probably noticed, we didn't end up going to Jelly Rolls after all.
They probably haven't noticed.
They will have done because there won't have been any video from Jelly Rolls.
Will have probably noticed.
Okay, well. We didn't end up going into Jelly Rolls. Well, we did go in, but we didn't stay. We walked into the door, paid to pay our cover charge, and peeped around the corner and there was nobody in there. Well, there was one table in there with a handful of people on it, and I really didn't want to be the second table in a massive room with two piano players in there.
Pianist.
Chris thinks pianist is a funny word.
Because you couldn't say it and you nearly said penis.
With two piano players. So we went out to go and get some cash to pay the cover charge. It was crazy. You can't pay the cover charge with your Magic Band. You can pay with credit card or you can pay with cash. But we haven't had any of that because we don't need it because we've got Magic Bands, which pay for everything else. They also said that once you do go in, you can pay for your drinks with your Magic Band, so that was great. We didn't need cash for everything. But we have to go and get cash now just to pay the cover charge. It's crazy. Anyway, we didn't go in. We decided that we would probably try another night. I mean, it's only Wednesday night, and I've heard that the weekend officially starts on Thursday. So we're probably going to try on Friday night again. Hopefully it'll be a bit busier, maybe go in a little bit later. I said to Chris that I'd rather have no seat in a room full of people than the only seat in a room with no other people in. I think it's just be a better atmosphere a bit later in the week, so we'll try them. Instead we went for a walk down the boardwalk just to get some extra steps in, because we do a Fitbit challenge where we need to get 10,000 steps a day. And this holiday's been really good because we've been getting about 20,000 steps a day and wiping the floor with everybody else in our weekly challenges. Except that because we've been at the water park today, we're really low on steps because we haven't had phones and watches on because of the water. So we're only on about 5,000 steps. So an extra walk around the boardwalk kind of helped us build that up a bit. Now we can go to bed in a respectable amount. So we went back to the Boardwalk bakery, and Chris had a cinnamon roll, which really wasn't very good. It's one of these like must-have foods in at Disney. Originally they said you should get the cinnamon roll at the Main Street Bakery. Main Street Bakery is now closed. And loads of things I read online said to go to the Boardwalk Bakery instead. And maybe it's just because it wasn't fresh, but it was kind of crunchy on the bottom and overly sweet.
Style as well.
And the style of it, it wasn't like a Cinnabon, and to be honest, Cinnabons have to be the best cinnamon rolls that ever existed. And nothing else really compares, I don't think. I had a cheesecake brownie, which was recommended to me by the guy that worked in there. He said that was his favourite of all the desserts they did. And to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of it. The cheesecake was too sweet. It was really, really sugary and not very cheesecakey. And the brownie just wasn't a good brownie. I mean, it was nice, there was nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't a good brownie. Don't get it, it's not worth it. After we finished at the bakery, we walked back along the length of the boardwalk. We didn't really see many entertainers out tonight, whereas when we've been previously, there've been loads of entertainment up and down the boardwalk. We walked back, went the long way around, back into the hotel, and went down to go and refill our cups and go get some drinks. And while we were in the shop, I picked up a really cute pin. Where's my pin? See? Maybe you can see that? Maybe I'll have to cut that in later. Because we have bought a couple of pins on this holiday so far. I think I've got a 2015 pin and a Yacht Club pin. But I really wanted one that was kind of honeymoony and weddingy, and I had a couple to choose from, but I thought this one was really, really cute. And it means that Chris doesn't have to wear one too, whereas the others all kind of came in pairs, so this one's nice, it's just for me. While we were paying for the pin, we spoke to a really nice cast member called Phoebe. She was really lovely. We saw her earlier on today, and she was lovely then. She was just really genuinely friendly. She didn't have the fake Disney smile that everyone has, and it is nice, but she actually seemed to care. She complimented me on my dress and told me that, asked if we were staying until Saturday. Because apparently Saturday's Dapper Day, and she said it'd be a perfect outfit to wear for Dapper Day. Which is a real shame because we're going home Saturday, so we can't go. But it was just nice that she bothered to let us know about it and that we could do it and what we should wear. It was fantastic. She was on the college programme, and so she told us a little bit about that as well. And then I didn't want to waste any more of her time. But Phoebe, she was really lovely. You should definitely go to the Yacht Club and come see her. I think we are off to bed now with maybe one more stop to the shop first, and maybe have to go and refill my drinks. I need some cocoa. Tomorrow... Chris is coughing. Tomorrow we're going to Magic Kingdom and then finish off with an evening at Epcot, because Epcot's open quite late. And I'll see you tomorrow. Night night.